Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm your host, David Streggy, and here I have another review for you, all the way from Norway. This is a Norwegian film that is directed by directors Per Ingar Tamren and Magna Steinsvolle. Who is the co-director with Stonewall Productions. And this film was filmed in 2003, and within the last year or so, he was online selling his Christmas Cruelty, otherwise known as Ohelig Jewel. Or at least that's how I think it's pronounced. And it's a Christmas slasher gore film. I would have to say it's on the dismemberment kind of a film, where we have a very violent beginning. A family of four that appears to be held hostage in a very nice home. The thing is, the tools that were used in the very beginning were like brand new, so it's not like they were used or anything. But we have an older man who appears to have tied up a family. The mother is laying on the ground. There's a baby crying in the background. And this is a very violent scene because first it pans around the room and we see the various family members either bloodied or tied up. They're struggling. And you hear this incessant baby crying. And you see him, this older man, go and evidently take the mother, and he rapes her in front of the family, in front of the child, and then afterwards he goes over to the baby either carriage or seat that. The baby chair that is sitting in the kitchen, and we get the intentional feeling that he is going to take and kill the child first, and that's why I say that this is a very violent beginning, which sets the tone for the film as well. So I also think that this film also promotes some of the music that Per Ingvar and Magna are part of, which on this particular release, which I'm going to show you right now, my particular copy is actually signed by the directors and some of the actors and whatnot, so that's actually kind of cool. But in any case, so a group of three, a cripple, a singer, and a girlfriend of theirs, not necessarily someone that's with either one of the two gentlemen, but we have, I believe we have the directors playing themselves. It's not like they came up with any characters. They just used their names to involve themselves in this film. So ultimately, they are evidently it's the day before, evidently December 5th, which evidently is a holiday that is celebrated by dressing up like a Krampus character. And so there's some comedy that is involved in this film, where the two are trying to create masks for the Krampus character, and they end up not using enough Vaseline on each other's faces, and they end up getting to the point where they each have to pull the masks off each other, and it pulls facial hair and all that kind of jazz. But once they go out and start scaring people, then it's time to sit down. And actually, I believe that they are getting ready for a Christmas holiday as well. And evidently, the two razz each other a lot through this film. For there are some names that came up during the conversation that these two evidently are in, and that's several conversations that I've never heard before, or haven't heard in a while, and that's something that I like about this film, especially when the cripple ends up opening up a bottle of champagne or wine or whatever, and hits someone in the nose, and the one guy goes off and takes the guy to the ER. Meanwhile, we see that this killer character has dressed up as a Santa Claus and has come into the home, and we see that this killer has zeroed in on the cripple and the girl, and we see him do the same thing that he did to the family in the very beginning, and continue to kill whoever comes to the home. And this is ultimately a very gory picture in the very end, as we see that there really is no end to violence that this character brings to this film. So I actually kind of liked this film, whereas my friend Septum Sim, if you check out his review, he did not like this film as well. I, on the other hand, did enjoy this film, maybe for the fact of the violence, and even though this didn't really have much of a backstory of why the killer went into the killings that he did, you get the sense that this is a serial killer on Christmas, and he doesn't exactly like women. So I enjoyed the gore in this film, and yeah. The other thing that was on this film was a short film that is by a director that I have actually covered, Severin Eskeland, with his Esk and Horn Productions, also from Norway. And this little film is called Tradition. It's also from the year 2013, and it stars Elvis Tobias Eskeland, Toril Bifok, and Reinhard Hornland as Sen, Mor, and Far. Evidently, these characters are a mother and a father and a child, and they are evidently getting dressed and ready to go to some kind of event, or at least you think so. And it ends up being not what you expect, but I love there's a moment where he just picks up the child and carries him into the car, and you see some very funny photos afterwards. The film was shot really well. It was set in winter, and for some reason, for some funny little moment, it's entertaining to watch. So I appreciate you being able to check out this film. I believe it is being sold by the B-Movie Avenger, which you will know him as Darren Means, I believe his name is. And he is selling copies of it right now for $15 a piece. So definitely message him if you want a copy. Hopefully you enjoyed my description of this film. Like and subscribe to my page. You have not. This film was definitely very gritty for me, very gruesome, very violent, and I think everyone should at least check this film out from Norway. Especially if you enjoy the genre of violence, the genre of gore, and so there was some nice gore in here. So, in any case, hopefully you enjoy your holidays. Have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Just check out the film. Let me know down in the comments if you have seen this, and thank you so much for visiting my page. I will definitely have some more cool reviews coming out. So check it out if you get a chance.